Hi everyone, I hope we're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a compilation of all of the TikToks that I have presented for Daily Mail. Now we have 3 million followers and counting, so it's always really fun hosting for Daily Mail's TikTok. Now before we get into it, you are more than welcome to subscribe on this channel. I talk about all things self-development, so if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you here. Alright, let's get on to the compilation.
Amber Heard is accused of copying Johnny Depp's outfits and hairstyles every day in the courtroom. Welcome to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. Okay, get this. Depp wears a grey suit to court. Heard wears a grey suit the next day. Depp wears a Gucci B-tie. Heard wears a B-tie 2 days later. Depp wears his hair pulled back. Heard comes to court with a very similar hairstyle the next day. I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops. Some people are convinced that Amber is doing this on purpose to play mind games with Depp. Twitter is going crazy over this. One person says the fact that Amber Heard is copying Johnny Depp's court outfits is something else. Nobody would ever copy their abuser's outfits. Amber Heard is mirroring all of Johnny Depp's outfits in a continued attempt to torment her victim. It's very rich of Amber Heard to tell Johnny Depp you don't have style, considering she's been copying his court outfits. Let's see what she comes up with next. So I don't know who would ever want to provoke Mike Tyson, but the man that he punched has been identified. Welcome back to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. This guy has been identified as the man who allegedly harassed Mike Tyson on the plane. This is the guy who threw a bottle at him before, well, getting knocked out. Melvin Townsend III has a lengthy criminal history. Are you guys ready? Possession of oxycodone, grand theft, fraud, and trafficking of stolen property. Before this little tussle, to say the least, Mike Tyson was celebrating 420 Day, just vibing out. He was also spotted right before boarding the plane, looking very cheery. It's not clear whether authorities are going to be pressing charges against Tyson. Some Twitter employees are absolutely furious over Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover of the company. They had a lot to say about it. Welcome back to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. So Twitter employees have been bombarding Twitter and internal message boards about Musk. A lot of these complaints had to do with fears of him being a danger to democracy, with a lot of employees saying they're gonna quit. One of the Twitter employees said, "Totally understand that this is entertainment for some, but please know that it is certainly not entertainment for me." Another Twitter employee tweeted out, "Anyone in need of a software engineer with 40 years of experience asking for a friend." Another Twitter employee said, "Yay, stock is up, but what about our company culture?" Now, Musk has said that he wanted to re-establish the principle of free speech. But a lot of critics have said that he will allow hate to flourish on the social media platform. Now, this is what Musk had to say about all of this. He tweeted this last night. "I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means." What do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments. Can you imagine having your student loans eliminated? I can't, but nevertheless, it could be a reality for you. Biden considers wiping a substantial amount of money for student loan borrowers, and it could be way more than $10,000 per person he proposed during his presidential run. Welcome to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. So Biden did previously propose to cancel $1.6 trillion worth of loans owned by 43 million people, but it's now suggested it might be way more than that. During a meeting earlier this week, he suggested to Rep. Tony Cardenas that he's now open to forgiving a good chunk of student loan debt. He didn't specify how much, though. It's also unclear how many students will be affected, but the president did allude that he will be willing to forgive debts owed to public and private colleges. Some Dems have called on him to forgive $50,000 in student debt loans, with AOC actually urging him to cancel student debt loans altogether. So she replied to a tweet about the pause of student loan debts caused by the pandemic, and she said, "I don't think these folks understand the panic and disorder it causes people to get so close to these deadlines. We should cancel them." I mean, fingers crossed. I'm personally excited to see if this actually comes into fruition. This is the moment Alec Baldwin is told Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins has died after he shot her on the Rust set.
do have some very unfortunate news to tell you.
What?
She didn't make it. Yeah. So Joel's still at the hospital, but the other person involved didn't make it.
Welcome to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. Now, I can't begin to imagine the feelings this actor had after being told the news, but clearly it was really distressing. Now, we've all seen these images of Alec Baldwin sobbing on the phone, but just to give you a little bit of a timeline and a little bit of context, this was right after the police told him that she passed away. Now, no one has been charged over her death and the case remains ongoing. And earlier this week, Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office released thousands of files from this investigation. One of them including a call where Baldwin begs cops to consider his theory that the gun may have been tampered with.
It sounds like there's a chance. I'm sure it's slim. I accept that. I'm not looking for conspiracy. But every time I speak to somebody, it sounds like more and more like there's a chance that someone may be tampered with this. And I'd be dying to find out from Hannah. I don't want to abuse Hannah or make her feel bad about what's happened, but what happened to that box of bullets?
Okay.
What happened? Where did that box, when it disappeared, what date did it disappear? How long did it disappear for? When it came back, where did you find it? I'm just begging you to indulge me. I'm begging you to understand my intention here, which is that what happened to that box of 45 long calls? The box in which they drew the bullets out of, I'm told, to put in that gun.
I want to know, what do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments. Johnny Depp poured his heart out about his mother Betty Sue in court today, and not in a good way. That rhymed. Welcome back to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. Depp took the stand today in his $100 million defamation trial with ex-wife Amber Heard. And one thing I can tell you is, it wasn't pretty. The actor recounted his abusive childhood at the hands of his suicidal mom. Take a look.
My mother was quite unpredictable. She had the ability to be as cruel as anyone can be.
He gave out a little nervous laughter after recalling the time that his mother threw an ashtray at his head.
Physical abuse, certainly, which could be in the form of an ashtray being flung at you, you know.
The Pirates of the Caribbean star goes on to say that it was ex-wife Amber who was the perpetrator of the violence that scarred their relationship. Here's just one of the images. All I can say is I'm really invested and really intrigued to see how this all plays out. The world's oldest person has died in Japan. Can you guess her age? I'm going to give you a few seconds. Welcome back to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. Okay, did you give it a go? This woman died at 119 years old. What are her secrets? I have to tell you about this woman because I think we can all take notes from her. So Kane Tanaka was born on January 2nd, 1903 in the southern region of Japan. She was born in the same year the Wright brothers first flew their plane on the other side of the world. Talk about making history. In her earliest years, she ran several businesses, including a rice cake store and a noodle shop. She eventually went on to marry and she gave birth to 4 children, adopting her 5th. And in 2019, she was recognized as the world's oldest living person by the Guinness World Records at 116 years young. Okay, so I love this part and I'm gonna try not to cry, but when she was recognized, she was asked what moment made her happiest in life. By this time, she could barely speak and she replied with a single word: now. Rest in peace, Kane Tanaka. Brand new footage has emerged of a mystery suspect running down the street with the Queen's mother's body stuffed inside a duffel bag after she was stabbed 60 times last weekend. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. 51-year-old Orsalia Gal was stabbed to death last Saturday after returning home from a night out with friends. Now, police have identified a person of interest, but that person hasn't been revealed to the public yet. Now, surveillance footage did capture someone dragging a duffel bag containing her body down a Queen Street at 4:30 a.m. Check it out, but be advised, it's pretty chilling stuff. Now, unfortunately, the person in the video has not been identified and police have not made any arrests. Let's hope the killer's found soon. ASAP Rocky is detained at LAX for allegedly shooting a man back in 2021. Let's talk about it. Welcome to another Daily Tale at the Daily Mail. I'm your host, Margarita. Imagine hopping out of your private jet after vacationing with your pregnant girlfriend, Rihanna, and then getting arrested on site. So a little caveat, Rihanna and ASAP were vacationing in Barbados where they totally brushed off those cheating rumors. So after a total loved up getaway, ASAP returns back to LAX where he's arrested for shooting a guy. The victim claims that ASAP approached him on the street in LA and fired a gun back in November 2021. The victim claims that ASAP was with two others when the shooting happened, leaving the victim with a grazed hand. This reminds me of the time he was imprisoned in Sweden back in 2019. Let's see what happens next.